Sean Plunket recently released an interesting segment covering Israel's capture of Greta Thunberg and various other activists attempting to deliver aid to Gaza. As always, he provided an interesting piece of commentary. Well, that is one way of putting it. I think a response is warranted.
So Greta's going to be deported from Israel. But before she goes, the Israelis are going to let her view a video I've seen twice. The unedited video of the attack by Hamas into Israel on October the 7th, right? Now, I don't think about that video too much, even though I've seen it twice, and it struck me last night as I thought about it, that I would share it with you again, because I know what Greta Thunberg is going to see. Shot by shot by shot, it is seared in my memory. But I'll just give you the highlights, and I am so interested to see whether she can overcome her autistic narcissism and actually have a human reaction to what she is about to see on video, provided by the Israelis. I might add, this has never been widely released, because the things you see and the indignities you see being perpetrated against people, it's just not right. It's just not right that that's traded around and manipulated in an open forum on the internet. And there's a respect to the dead. But here's some of the stuff that Greta's going to see. She's going to see a young Israeli soldier.
Sean Plunket explains in detail every bad thing Hamas is on video doing. Weaponizing an atrocity to stir up emotional bloodlust in support of endless retaliatory atrocities. Good Lord, it is revolting. It is essentially disingenuous atrocity porn, as Plunket lists all the worst things Hamas did on October 7. The goal is to get his viewers into an emotional, vengeful frenzy so they continue to support Israel's retaliatory mass murder. Of course, Sean Plunket turns a blind eye to Israel's countless crimes. Israeli soldiers have brutally gang-raped Palestinian prisoners on multiple occasions. Sean Plunket does not provide a somber retelling of that. What about when Israeli forces opened fire on aid workers? What about when Israel murdered a little girl called Hind Rajab, her family, and paramedics seeking to save them? Only to deny doing so when the media had proof that they did it. And there are hundreds of similar cases. Too many to ever mention here. What about when the Israeli military murdered over 10,000 children? We do not get somber retellings of those 10,000 stories. We are not treated to videos or explanations of these disgusting crimes. One dead Israeli is given 1,000,000 times more empathy than 10,000 dead Palestinian children. Greta will be forced to watch videos of the atrocities committed by Hamas. If Sean Plunket was forced to watch videos of the atrocities committed by Israel, he would be sitting in front of the screen 24 hours a day for weeks. How can Sean live with himself? He is such an amoral Zionist hack. He treats this horrible conflict like it is a team sport. It is disgusting. Imagine being this committed to any country, let alone a foreign one. Imagine being so willing to make such low-quality propaganda for a foreign country. Doing this for your own country would be gross and immoral, but this defies comprehension. It is a whole new level of deranged depravity. I despise Hamas, and I gladly condemned their barbaric October 7 actions. And my initial gut reaction was to hope that Israel would give Gaza hell. But I now view that as a mistake, because vengeful emotions are not a basis for a serious military policy. But some hysterical individuals never overcame this visceral, bloodthirsty response. They are too dominated by emotion. They are too hysterical. Supposedly Hamas is the excuse for every bad thing that Israel does. So why then did Israel seize Syrian territory and wipe out almost the entire Syrian military without provocation at the end of 2024? They did so opportunistically, taking advantage of the collapse of the Syrian government. Hamas was not a factor at all. It is almost like Israel is a violent, belligerent ethno-state that wants total dominance of the region. The other day, Winston Peters rightly sanctioned Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, Israel's most deranged government ministers. According to Sean Plunket, this means siding with terrorists. That is what he announced in a tweet that is now pinned to his profile. He says this as he defends the state that killed 10,000 Palestinian children and viciously attacked Syria without provocation. According to Plunket, Israel is in Gaza to hunt down a terrorist death cult. Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, the ministers of the Israeli government, have a very different view of things. Ben-Gvir wants to use violence to render the Strip uninhabitable, so the Palestinian population is forced to move elsewhere, opening up Gaza for Israeli settlement. Don't take my word for it, that is what he actually said. It is a blatant demand for ethnic cleansing. It is not ambiguous. It is incredible that people pretend Israel is just trying to defeat Hamas, when Israeli officials will literally say that ethnic cleansing is what they want. And still these worthless, disgusting Zionist hacks will pretend otherwise. Ben-Gvir has argued in defense of Jews who spit on Christians. He claims this is an ancient Jewish tradition and something that should not be illegal. Ben-Gvir defended Israeli soldiers who gang-raped a Palestinian prisoner to the point they had to be hospitalized. He demanded that the rapists be released when Israeli authorities arrested them. Smotrich claimed the criminal was not the rapists, but the person who exposed them. Smotrich has claimed that the entire population of the West Bank is Nazis, an obvious attempt at justifying genocidal behaviour. Bear in mind that Hamas controls Gaza, not the West Bank. The West Bank has a far more moderate government. Smotrich demanded the total annihilation of various Palestinian cities, and to a large extent, he got what he wanted. This is not how you behave when you want to defeat a terrorist group. This is how you behave when you are a deranged, genocidal extremist. And these people are extremists. Ben-Gvir literally claims that Jews spitting on Christians is acceptable because it is an ancient Jewish custom. If you are not a Jewish extremist, these fanatics hate you. They are just as fanatical as Hamas. Smotrich demanded that Gaza be totally destroyed to force its inhabitants elsewhere. Again, this is a blatant call for ethnic cleansing. It is not at all ambiguous. These lunatics are very clear about what their objective is. This is the behaviour of a belligerent ethno-state and its advocates. It has absolutely nothing to do with defeating Hamas. And these people advocate and act out terrorism on a scale that Hamas could never even begin to imagine. 10,000 dead children, a whole region reduced to rubble. An artificial famine. One day Plunket will have to grapple with the fact that he eagerly cheered on ethnic cleansing and genocide. Until then, I hope he is continually reminded that he is worthless, amoral garbage. He wouldn't know morality if he tripped over it. He wages war on decency and rationality. He is your enemy.